Tao. A choiceless awareness is needed for bliss. I repeat again, suffering will continue to happen, but now nothing can make you suffer. Even if you are suddenly thrown into hell, just by your presence there, for you it will not remain a hell anymore, because you have a choiceless awareness. Someone asked Socrates, "Where would you like to go?" Socrates said, "I do not know whether there is heaven or hell." Socrates said, "I do not know whether there is a hell and a heaven. I don't know whether they are there or not, but I will not choose between them. My only prayer will be this: allow me to be alert wherever I am. Allow me to be aware wherever I am. Let me be fully aware wherever I am, whether it is hell or heaven, that is irrelevant. Awareness, alertness is the most important thing, because if you are fully alert, hell will disappear. Hell is your being not aware, is a state when you are not aware. If you are fully aware, then heaven appears. Heaven is the state when you are fully aware. So, fully aware is the most important criteria that Socrates responded to the person. Really, there are no such geographical places as heaven and hell, as has been told you by the priestly community. And don't go on thinking in childish terms that someday you will die and God will send you to heaven or hell according to your karmas, according to your doings, according to whatsoever you have done on earth. No, you carry your heaven and hell deep within you. Wherever you move, you carry your heaven and hell. When you are unaware, unconscious, not alert, you are in hell. The moment you are aware, no matter what is the circumstance and situation, you may be amidst enemies, you may have unfavorable circumstances, but if you are aware, you are in heaven, and those circumstances and situations will not affect you anyway. Even God cannot do anything. If suddenly you meet Him, He will look like a hell. You carry your hell within you, you protect it wherever you are, and then you will suffer. The encounter will be just death-like, intolerable. You may become unconscious. Whatsoever happens to you, you carry within you the seed of consciousness, the seed of the entire existence within you. So remember, if you suffer, you have chosen it Consciously or unconsciously, directly or indirectly, you have chosen it. It is your choice, and you are responsible for your state. No one else is responsible for it. No one else. But in your mind, in your confused state, everything is upside down. If you suffer, you think you suffer because of the others. Wife thinks the problem in my life is because of the husband, and husband thinks it is because of her. No one can make you suffer. It is impossible. And even if someone makes you suffer, it is your choice to be in suffering, to remain in suffering. It is your choice to be in suffering through that person. You are driving along the highway. Suddenly someone gives you a bad drive. He turned on your television screen. Many things starts happening. You have chosen it. You have chosen to be in that state. You have chosen him, and you have chosen a particular type of suffering through that person. No one can make you suffer. Remember, it is your choice. But you always go on thinking that it is the other who is responsible for your problems. You go on thinking if the other changes, or if the other is doing something else, you will not suffer. So you, instead of changing yourself, you want the other to change. And now with your experience, you have not done anything to change the other. Your approach to life has changed. And with that, you yourself will realize that the things have changed. The other has a certain amount of respect for you. The way that person used to speak to you or behave is not there anymore. Introspect. Did you do anything to change him? No. Your approach to life has changed. And with that, everything has changed in your life and will continue to change in your life, because you have taken away the remote control from the other. Now nobody can change your screen. You are blissful because of your own reasons. You are choiceless. You are in a state of blissfulness. So in that state, it does not matter what others say to you. I have heard Mullah Nasruddin was filling out a report because he had crashed the car into a parked vehicle. So he was filling out the report. He was filling out a report and many things were asked. When he came to the part where he was asked what the driver of the other vehicle could have done to avoid this accident. It was a parked car. So Mullah Nasruddin filled. He should have parked the car somewhere else. The car was parked. He bumped into the car which was parked. So he was filling out the report. So a point came in. What do you think that other could have avoided to have this accident, this problem? He wrote he should have parked the car elsewhere. The car was parked there. He should have parked it somewhere else. Because of him parking the car there, accident has happened. This is your situation. We create our own heaven and hell. Every moment it is happening. And this is what you are doing. Always the other is responsible as far as you are concerned. You are holy, you are divine, but the other is not. As a result, he is responsible for the problems that is happening around you. Excuse me. Every husband and every wife thinks that the other is responsible. He should have done something or the other, and there should have been no suffering. No, the other is not responsible at all. This is the first thing that you have to remember. The other is not responsible. He has simply given you an option to be happy or unhappy, to respond the way you would like to respond. If there is awareness in you, there is alertness, he cannot make you respond the way it is normally understood. You are responsible, and unless you take this responsibility consciously upon you, nothing will change. You will not change. You have to take consciously the responsibility that you are responsible for whatever is happening in your life. Responsible, and unless you take the responsibility consciously upon you, things will not change. The change will become possible, easily possible, the moment you realize that you are responsible for it. If you have suffered, it was your choice. That is what the law of karma is, nothing else. You are wholly responsible whatsoever happens, suffering or happiness, hell or heaven. Whatsoever happens, ultimately you are totally responsible for it. This is what the law of karma is. Total responsibility rests with you. But do not be afraid. Because of the fear, we try to shift the responsibility on the other. But don't be afraid. Don't be scared by it. Because the total responsibility is, if the total responsibility is with you, then suddenly a door opens. A door of freedom opens. A door of freedom opens, because if you are the cause of your suffering, you can change it. If you think the other is responsible, then there is no possibility of change. You will not change because you have shifted the responsibility on the other. The moment you shift, you take the responsibility on your shoulders that I am responsible, a door for freedom has opened. Then how can you change unless the whole world changes? This is what your approach is. If the other is the cause of your suffering, as normally happens in our life, if the other is the cause or responsible, then you cannot change. Then how can you change? I cannot change the other. I cannot convince the other that I am very sincere in my effort. You cannot convince anyone. The more you try to convince, the more you will fail. The only thing you have to realize that you are totally conscious, you are aware that you are responsible, then you can bring about the change in the other. If you think the other is the cause, that normally happens, you cannot change. How can you change? Unless the whole world changes, your suffering will continue. You are trying to logically convince your husband or wife that always you are not wrong, and it never happened. And there seems to be no way to change the other, and the suffering will continue. But we are pessimists that even such beautiful doctrine as the law of karma, we interpret in a way that they do not be free and remain in bondage. This is a beautiful doctrine, such a way that they do not become free or liberate themselves, but rather on the contrary, they make us more and more burdened. And this is what it is happening. The criteria for liberation means that you take the total responsibility of all that is happening in and around you on you. The law of karma was to free you. It was to give you total freedom towards yourself. No one else can make you suffer. No one else can make any suffering for you. This was the message of the law of karma that Krishna gave in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Whatsoever it says, whether it says niyatam kuru karmatam karmajayo akarmana sharir yatra pichatena prasiddhyed karmana, or karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Your only responsibility is with engage in action with deep understanding. Then it will give you freedom. You continue to do your duty and forget about what other does. I have come here to liberate myself through my actions, through my understanding. I am a very selfish person. I am not interested in other. The moment everyone feels the responsibility on his shoulders, the world will be a better place. But you think if the other changes, only then life will be blissful for you. The law of karma is to free you. It was giving you total freedom towards yourself. No one else can make any suffering for you. This is the very important thing. No one can make you suffer if you are aware. Yes, the other can make you suffer because you are not aware. You are not conscious. This is the message. If you are suffering, you have created it. If you are master of your destiny, fate, you will want to change it. Immediately you can change it and the life will become different. But the attitude is important. And see, what have you done for your present state of understanding or anything. I have heard two friends were talking. One was a bona fide optimist and the other was a bona fide pessimist. Even the optimist was not too happy about the situation. And the optimist said, it is economic crisis. And if the optimist says, if the economic crisis continues and these political instabilities continue, then the world will remain the same as it is, immoral. Then we are going to be reduced to begging soon. Even he was not too hopeful about it, the optimist. When he said we are going to be reduced to begging, the pessimist said, from whom? From whom are you going to beg in this condition? From whom are you going to beg if this condition continues? So there are situations. So the pessimist says it is very difficult that if this political instability and things like this continues, we will have to start begging. We will be simply reduced to begging. Pessimist says, if you are going to beg, and if this condition continues, who are you going to beg it from? You have a mind and you go on bringing your mind to everything, a particular kind of approach. Really, you transform the quality of every teaching and doctrine. You defeat Buddhas and Krishnas so easily because you cannot see the reality. You convert the whole thing, whole color in your own way. The optimist did it in his own way, and the pessimist did in his own way. If this is how the condition continues, the pessimist asks, whom are you going to beg from? The optimist says in his own way, if this economic crisis continues and these political instabilities continues, the world remains the same as it is now, and soon we will be reduced to begging. His way of looking. And the pessimist says, if this condition continues, whom are you going to beg from? You are totally responsible for whatsoever you are and whatsoever world you are living in. We create our own world according to our own understanding and thinking. We manipulate the words of the awakened one according to our own conditionings, and you live in that. In the same room, you are not two people staying in the same room, but we live in our own inner worlds. It is your creation. If it goes deep into you, if this understanding goes deep into you, you can change everything. You need not suffer. Do not choose, instead be a witness. Whatsoever your husband does or wife does or someone else does, be a witness and bliss will happen to you. Bliss is not a dead commodity. Suffering will go on continuing around you if you are not a witness, if you are not alert. So it is not a question of what happens to you, it is a question of how you are and how you look at the world and the situations around. The total ultimate meaning comes from deep within you, not from the happenings, not from whatever is happening around you. The meaning comes from your understanding from deep within. Enough for now.